So in this video, we're going to go over how to do walls. So basically your walls is the skeleton of your structure, regardless of whether it's residential or commercial. So first thing is you want to make sure before you start drawing the walls that you're on your correct floor plan. So possibly you might have to add in an elevation for a level if you have like a level, a second floor or third, fourth, whatever it may be. But in this case, we're just going to draw on level 1. So up here at the top, we have our wall. If we click on the drop down, we have architectural, structural, wall by face. Wall by face is for like if you have a model, basically, or it's called a mass. So in this case, we're just going to use architectural. And once you choose wall, just like in most cases, here at properties, you can change the wall. So generic is going to pop up as generic 8-inch, but we have like 6-inch, 5-inch. You have some walls that already have masonry attached to them. And then at the bottom, you have like your current wall, exterior glazing, and storefront. But in this case, we're just going to stick with our standard 8-inch. And then here in the properties as well, you need to look at your base constraint. Make sure that that is the bottom, so where your wall is starting. And then also your top constraint is where that wall is going to end. By default, it's going to come up as unconnected 20 feet. In most cases, you're not going to want that. So you're going to want to switch your top constraint by, of course, clicking on it and choosing up to level 2, okay? Or to whatever level it is. And then underneath here, unconnected height, it should say whatever that distance is that's determined inside of your elevations. So in order to draw a wall, of course, up here at the top, we have our draw tools. So I'm just going to use the single line here, and then a couple things up here. Right here it says height. You could change it to like depth, but you should for the most part always have it as height, and currently I have it going up to level 2, so that is good. And then it'll tell me what the height is. So basically it says the same information here as it does up here. Location line, I'm going to draw 3 lines to kind of show you what the difference is. And then chain means every time you click, you're going to draw a new line. Okay, so to start off, wall center line. When I left click, I'm going to zoom in here. I can see that there is a dotted blue line in the middle. That's meaning every time I move and click, it is placing the new wall on center. So you have to be careful when you're placing walls, because depending on how you place them, if it's on center or on left exterior, right exterior, it's going to change the size of your rooms. But as you're drawing, there's a couple things we can see. First, in blue, it'll tell you how far you're going, so what the distance of that particular wall is. If you want to type in a particular distance, you can just, on your keyboard, type in, let's say 13 feet, press enter, and it'll create the wall that specific size. Also, as you move your mouse up and down, you're going to see that the angle appears. So if you need a wall at a specific angle, just make sure you move it to that particular angle before you type in your dimension. So in order to show that one other thing, so I'm going back to wall architectural. So that was wall center line. If I choose, let's say, finish face exterior, what that means is when I click, is going to place, basically my cursor is theoretically on the exterior face of the wall, and it's orienting the wall in. So if you created, or if you, let's say, you chose a wall that already had a finished face on it, so for example like brick or CMU, whatever it may be, is going to place the exterior finish on the outside. So you can see when you click, that dotted blue line is now on the top part, and every time I click, it's still going to be on that outside edge. So if I change this to finish face interior, you're going to see that now the dotted blue line is on the bottom. So everything I do is actually pushing it outwards. So if you're trying to create, let's say, an 11-foot by 11-foot room, you want to make sure that you're using finish face interior as you click to ensure that you're actually at 11. Or as you're typing in distances, you need to know how thick your wall is to determine exactly what you need to type in to accommodate for that space. So as you place walls, you do have to be careful, because if you just go ahead and just start clicking, your sizes are going to be off. So let's go back here to wall. Here you have your modify tools just like normal. And as far as like modifying walls, when you select a wall, you're going to see first it's going to select in blue, and then of course you have these little blue nodes where you can click and drag to extend the wall. If you click on the dimension up here at the top, you can type in a new distance, so let's say 18, and it will adjust it for you. The two little blue arrows here will flip it. So let's say for some reason you had a finished face of brick on the top and you needed it to be on the other side, you can simply just click on these arrows here and it will flip it for you. You can also like click and drag to change the angle if need be. I'm just going to go ahead and put that back. One other thing is how to do edit profiling. So you might run into a situation where you need to create an opening in your wall. It could be for a variety of different reasons. So when you select a wall, up here in your modify walls, you have edit profile. So we're going to select that, and basically what it does is it turns your wall into a magenta outline. So my suggestion is you could always just free sketch it here in the 3D view, but I would suggest rotating your cube here in the top right, so that way you're looking at it flat. So I'm going to turn it this way, and then I'm going to add in a door opening and then like an opening for a window. So using your draw tools, you simply, just like kind of in AutoCAD, you just draw whatever you need. Use the blue dimensioning there to assist you. So once you have this shape, so we have this door, we have a window. Any shape within the border of the wall is going to get cut out. So in this case, this window here is going to get cut out. But we run into a situation here at the bottom where our door is actually touching the border line, so the perimeter. In this case, we need to remove this section of the door. So there's a couple ways to do it. Personally, I'm just going to delete that bottom line, and then I'm just going to redraw 2 extra lines here at the bottom, connecting it. So now I have a continuous line creating the perimeter, and then again my box here in the middle will then be removed. So I'm going to hit the green check mark, and then I'm going to rotate, so now I can see on that wall it's removed. So you can do a bunch of fancy things. You can do circles, you can do basically any type of shape, any type of design for the most part in that edit profile.